was listening to a podcast called Andrew Talks to Chefs, and one of the episodes was about a guy named Jean-Louis Palladin. One of the guys who worked for him, I think it was Josh Sneed, talked about Palladin making a crab cake because he was French, didn't grow up here. He hadn't had a crab cake, and when he had one, he was curious about it. But when he decided to make it, according to Sneed, he said that it was a lobster mousse with some crab meat folded in, gently cooked, so that the mousse melts away, leaves you with bits of crab meat. I like that idea, and I've never made a seafood mousse before, so this was interesting to me, and I decided I was going to do it somewhat like that. Turns out my food processor is too small, so I decided to go with the stick blender. The stick blender is a guess. I've never made one, so I don't know how that's going to work out. Seasoning is me just winging it based on what I have. Half-pound scallops, half cup cream, 1 egg, half of a can of crab meat, a little bit of caper, I could have used more, a little bit of mustard, I could have used more, and some salt and fresh pepper. The crab meat is surprisingly good. I generally don't like canned crab meat. They don't do a good enough job shelling it, and a lot of the time I find it too strong flavored. This time that was the case. The crab meat in the one that I baked, the oven was set to something around 300 degrees. It might have been actually at 300. And I think I gave them 15, 20 minutes. But the internal temp came up to 135, 140, which I guess is a little high. But the center had just set, so it worked for me. But the baked version had a flavor that was a little too strong. And I should have seasoned it a bit more. I put a little bit of mustard on those ones, and they were good. They probably could have had more crab meat that would have turned it more crab cakey. As it was, it kind of seemed like maybe it would have been phenomenal on a cracker, or used as a stuffing. I guess people do ravioli, things like that with it. Ooh, actually, maybe I'll do a raviolo with a soft cooked egg and a brown butter sauce. Anyway, so I smoked the other half of what I had, since I was doing some wings and ribs anyway. I put it in a little tinfoil disposable pan and put it off to the left, up high, away from the actual heat. Let that go. The mixture takes on smoke really well, but actually there is no but. It takes on smoke really well. And the smoke cuts the strong crab flavor that I didn't like in the mix. I added mustard to the bland ones, and for the smoked one, I didn't add anything. I think some variation of a tartar sauce would be good, but not necessary.